This is Alan again, and welcome to my backyard. One of my projects since I've retired was I really hate mowing the yard, and I think grass is really a useless item to have when you can plant vegetables or have something growing and edible out of it. But I don't want to do an in-ground garden and take up all that. Fire ants don't let me do too well with a raised bed. Here's one that I've torn partially up because the fire ants just grew in all the little holes, regardless of discouragement pesticides and such as that I used on it, and then I was scared to eat the produce, so I just discontinued it and got the other block stacked here. And my newest little thing was to go buy fruit trees. I got 2 pair. This is a pineapple pear. I got it at Walmart, planted it, fairly easy to plant, and according to most everybody that you talk to, you need 2 varieties, and according to the tag on the pineapple, it said a Moonglow was a good variety to for a pollinator. So I bought a Moonglow and I planted it. Now I had probably a dozen blooms this year on both of these trees, and I was told by a friend, pick the blooms off. You want the plant to make roots and limbs and leaves and get brushier. Well, it made sense, so that's what I did. I picked all the blooms off. It just hurt my soul to do that, but I did. And now I have 2. This tree, you can actually see it has grown a foot, 12 inches easily. It's put on 12 inches. And this other one started out a little slower. It's only got about 6 inches or so new length, height. So it started at about 5 feet, and now I guess it's up 5'4", 5'6", somewhere in there. And this one I would say is well over 6.5. Also, if you'll bear with me, I bought blueberries. Also, I bought these from Ison Nurseries out of North Carolina. They just seem like good people to deal with. And I was going to put the blueberries in the ground, but then I wasn't for sure where I wanted them. And I went to Walmart, to get soil, to dig holes and amend the soil and fill them up. And I saw these little half-barrel containers. They're actually plastic, but they were a good size for $15 a piece. So I just got them. I got enough soil to fill them up and a bag of mulch to cover the tops. And I just planted these February, and I have berries. Not a lot, but next year I hope to have a whole bunch more. They're all doing well. They've all doubled in size. And I've got, again, for pollination reasons, I got 2 different brands or varieties. This is a farthing. This one and that one are farthings. And this one and that one are Well, that tag washed off and that one's gone. But it was a recommended pollinator. And Southern Star or something of that nature, it seems like. And I'm looking forward to getting blueberries from my blueberry plants. Again, fire ants is trying to take over. As you can see, the dirt exposed here, where they brought it up the top, over the top of the compost. And I've used orthorethine around the base, and I've beat them back, I think, I hope. I'm gonna take and put these on blocks, I believe. I will put them on bricks and raise them up off of the ground, and then put a good fire ant killer or deterrent under each one of the containers without actually putting it on the plant. Hopefully that'll work. Then my next fruit tree, well, actually this was my first fruit tree. It was a fig bush I put in 2 years ago, and I've babied it, let it grow sort of wildish. Didn't know anything about pruning and cutting it back, but good old YouTube, you can always find something to tell you what to do, how to do it. So this last year I pruned it real heavily, and it is putting on the leaves and growth. I'm really proud of how it's turning out. I'll look for I hope a large fig production. And I got on Etsy and ordered some cuttings for a different variety. This is a Black Madeira. I got the cuttings. I did the little plastic bag and cocoa core method, stuck the sticks off in it, and every one of them rooted. And I sold a couple. I gave a couple away. I planted the one, and I still have a couple back here from 5 cuttings that the guy sent me from Albania. It really surprised me when that's where they came from. Seemed like a long way for a fig, but they have done good. And I still have 2 here in buckets ready to be planted. One's going to my daughter, and another one I've got to figure out a place to put this one. I don't get too crowded. Then on top of that, some of the cuttings from my brown turkey fig that was up front that I trimmed up this year, I decided I would try to root some of them. And I just took the sticks that had been actually in a baggie for probably a month or so. I took and I cut exposed fresh cut on them, stripped the bark about a 1/2 inch long on 2 sides of the bottom of the part that I put in the dirt. And as you can see, this one, I'd hoped that it would come out with a bud here, but it didn't. But it did come out with one down at the bottom. So I may still get me a fig bush out of this. This one budded out of the top like I'd hoped for, but now it's putting on one there and one there. This stick had 2 places that I thought would bud, and both of them have. This one has 2 buds on it, and this one has 1. That's 3 off of cuttings that would have went in the garbage. And the other day, I took the biggest of 4 cuttings, actually. that had budded, and I put one in a larger pot, an 8-inch pot, and it seems to be doing real well. I'm looking forward to putting this out. But that's all of my projects to date. I'm sure I'll do something else. My wife dodges every time, she almost faints every time she sees the Amazon truck pull up, scared to death of what I bought next. But till next time, see you later.